Hi, my name is Joey, and I have a story. I was raised in a broken family, and I had eight brothers and sisters. We all lived in a two-bedroom house, and they say you're kind of born an addict, but I really don't believe that. I believe it all has to do with your childhood. It all has to do with your past. When I got to a teenager, it was the thing, was drinking and smoking pot, and then I got around the wrong crowd one night, and ended up getting sexually assaulted as a young teen, and for a long time I masked it over that, tried to fill the void, with drugs and alcohol because of the pain, and at first I went to questioning my sexuality, and questioning who I was as a person. Was it my fault? Why did this happen? And then that just progressed as the years went on. And I lost my mom, dad, and my grandpa, around the same time in the year 2009. And that just kicked everything off. More alcohol, heavier drugs, and my life just spiraled out of control. It was February 4th. That night, I've done enough drugs to blow up any human's heart. The next morning, I had my mind convinced that, something was wrong. I couldn't do enough drugs to make myself go away, and I couldn't mask it anymore. And, that's when I looked in the mirror, and I seen myself in the mirror, and I splashed some water on my face, and I said, you know what, I need to go to rehab. Just the only word I could put on it is, the moment of clarity, the moment that God grabbed a hold of me, and said, look, if you do this, you're not going to make it. In the state of mind I was in, there was no want to go to rehab. It was the fact that God had pushed out and shut out all the drugs for that 5 minutes for me to look in the mirror and actually, walk out the door and jump in my car and drive. When I met Alfredo in rehab, he asked me about my Bible, and I looked down and he asked me if I ever read it, and I looked at him and I said, man, God ain't done nothing for me, and I flung my Bible across the room. And that's when the conversation went from quiet to really, he got angry about it, and he asked me, he said, what did God do to you? God ain't ever done nothing to you. God has been there for you. God's, he's held your hand through that. You may have let go of him and he never let go of you. And I had nothing I just, after he pulled off and started going with scriptures and he's doing this to the Bible and looking at me, and I'm just bawling like a little baby. And that's just the power of God, to work through him, to get to me. I mean, I'm talking about weight was getting lifted off me, and I think that was God letting me know, hey, I'm here and I haven't left you. I think God uses me on a daily basis, and even if it's for reinsurance for other people, like today, I was at a customer's house and they're real Christian people, and I don't know what's brought this conversation up, but my past come up, and I kind of told my story to this homeowner, and she said, wow, we'll pray for you, and and he was like, man, I really needed to hear that. I don't know if he wanted to admit it or not, but it was more or less reassurance that God's there and God can change people. I definitely would tell you that, God has never left you, and God will not leave you, and God is there. I know the pain you're feeling inside, you feel hopeless and down and out, that there may not be a God, but just know there is a God, and there is light beyond the tunnel. The love that God has for somebody, is the sky's the limit. That's exactly what I'm going to tell them. Jesus is a full cup.
Yeah.
These bifocal.